Thomas, thank you so much for sponsoring vCon TADHack.
Okay.
Please, give an intro and all go through the resources and help, answer all the questions that people have.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. So, hi everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'm Thomas, if we haven't met before, and I am the CTO of Strawlid, who is sponsoring this year's vCon TADHack and TADHack in general. I'd love to talk to you about what we're looking for and give you some of the background. So just to start with that, vCons are a file format that's being worked on by the IATF that will be a RFC sometime in the next year. But more importantly, it started right here at TAD Summit, where Alan and myself and Dan and Paul and Mitch all got together and wrote the white paper, which became the starting tome of econs. And so from the very start, TADHack has been a special place for me. I've been involved ever since there's been one, I think, I hope.
Yep. Oh, yeah,
Sure trying to be.
absolutely. Right from the
Trying to
beginning.
be. And what really drove me is because I think a lot of learning gets done by actually doing things. And I think it's a real value to spark your own imagination and spark others' imaginations. It's a real benefit to the community and to yourself, and hacks allow us to do that. It's just been a real pleasure for us to be supporting of this. So let's talk about this year's hack. This is the around VCons, and we have two basic prizes were two basic groups of things that we're thinking about this year. Yeah, the first is really targeted towards using vCons in a as an application framework store support thing, and the other is using vCons as a file. And the first one is for all of you who want to get your keyboards out and get some coding done, and the other is for all those people who are actually maybe more business focused and maybe less API code focused, but still on the technical edge. So this is the second part. So what I want to do is let me just share my screen and give you some of the ideas about each of them and go from there. Okay.
Great.
And then
Thanks,
obviously
Thomas.
this is all for you. So make sure if the questions you have to ask, be happy to answer them. So don't be shy.
Absolutely. And this is recorded, and I'll get it up on the TADHack site a little bit later this afternoon. So again, if you have to drop off or whatever, don't worry. We'll have all the material here.
Don't stress it.
And I know a couple of people have been having challenges with the Slack link. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know why either. We're going to work hard on that.
don't worry. I mean, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, they're not going to spam you, but I'll just send your email
Well, you know what?
link as well to the small group.
Yeah, and maybe we're kind of missing it too, because another approach could have been Discord.
That's right, because that's what Telnix, the other sponsor for later in June, are using as well. And that's very popular these days.
Yes,
So,
totally think that's a good choice.
yeah.
Okay, so here we are. If you can see my screen.
Yep.
This is the conserver.io site. It's where I've put all my writing and all my thoughts and information around vCons. So if you're interested in getting more information about vCons in general, this is a great place to do it. And here we have a vCon apps and stores section, which is new. And this is the part that we're working on this year for the hack. So if you'd like to learn more about vCon's apps and stores, this is a great place for you to learn some about that. And underneath that, we have some of the information for TADHack vCon. So let's talk about the raw materials. So the great thing about vCons are they're just a file. There's nothing more than that. So they're easy to create and share and work off of. So what we did was we put together a series of vCons, maybe 50 or so, vCons, which are synthetic. So these aren't real people and they aren't having real conversations. And we used our vCon Faker application to make these. And what the conversations are simply a series of conversations about Aquidneck yacht brokers. Both Alan and I grew up on islands on other sides of the Atlantic. I
Yep.
grew up right in Narragansett Bay in Rhode Island, and we have a lot of sailing, which happens because there's a lot of water. Um, and so we've made up a fake set of conversations about Aquidneck yacht brokers around just different, things that could happen inside of a brokerage. They sell, they move, they fix, they do all this kind of stuff around that. And so you'll see is inside here are some of these different, conversation types. And now the reason why we've done this around a business is because vCons are really magic when it comes to learning and understanding more about your business in general or your business in particular. So you could ask questions around, who comes to my business and why do they like me or why don't they like me? That's a thing you want to understand. Or you can think about, okay, what's our existing, equipment support issues at the moment? What's happening with those? Or tell me about my equipment support issues, and tell me how I can do them better. All these different things you can analyze for the conversations themselves. So that is the conversation set, and you can download them right here on at the up here in GitHub. Now this is part of the vCon dev site in GitHub, so all of our technical materials tend to be up here. So including these particular conversations, but also what we're talking about with the store. So before you actually talk about the template, let me just tell you about the store really quickly so you understand what we're talking about there. So the vCon store, hold on, is right. The whole idea is right here. Oh, okay. So, and this picture's here on the conservator side too.
Yeah.
So basically, one of the dreams of communications and communications markets is to make better applications around conversations. And what this is an architecture and how you would do that. And so what we're asking you to do on the programming side of the hack is to make what we call vCon enabled apps. And what these guys do is these guys are applications that work on a set of vCons. So take these vCons and they can use those set of vCons to make a diary or an insight or an application or maybe a coach or maybe a dashboard or maybe a problem finder or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah.
And this is what we're asking you to do. This data store of vCons is originally generated by vCon creators like phone systems and mail and that kind of stuff, and they're sent into what's called a vCon hoster. And a vCon hoster keeps that data safe and protected, and they allow the data subject, the person who is recorded, the ability to see, retrieve, correct, delete their data. And so those three guys, creators, hosters, and subjects, are the other four parts of the ecosystem. So if you'd like to make a vCon enabled application, simply use the data which I've given you. Now, also, if you want just a head start on this, we also have a template called the vCon app template, which is here in the vCon dev, and I'll be polishing this one up a little bit myself as we go through the hack. And then it is a vCon diary, which simply takes all the conversations it can see by day and tells you what happened in them. So just a very simple, analysis of the conversation. It's written in Python if you're a Pythonista, and it's written in Streamlit, so it looks pretty even when you don't know how to make pretty things, which I think is really nice. So this is our app template, and so that's there. Other vCon tools are here as well if you're interested. The conserver open source code is here, as is the administration code that you can use to manage it, and the library that we use to make vCons ourselves here at Strawlid, plus a bunch of other applications like if you're a Pydantic guy in Python, we've got some of those libraries for you. We're working on an MCP server for vCon. Look at
Ooh,
that, yeah. Me and Mike Onslow, we're having a good time putting that one together. So
excellent.
new things coming. Uh, and so those are the tools that we have for you. There's a couple of the videos here, but that's the basic thing on that. one other quick thing for you guys, if you're vibe coding guys, or you are into Cursor, or or Claude, we have some pretty fun things here, like a coding prompt cheat sheet that's built for LLMs.
Yeah,
And so if you want to download that and give it to your LLM, it tells you exactly how to make a vCon in a very small set for your token window.
cool.
Or you can make your own vCons here by using our vCon Faker program, which is right here, vCon Faker on Streamlit.apps. And so done.
Cool.
And that allows you to make as many vCons as you want. Just pick the kind of business you have and the problem you want to simulate over the time frame, number of conversations to generate. Pick your model, text messaging conversation or voice.
Hmm.
Remember, vCons handle any sort of conversation, audio, video, text, email.
Yeah, great. Now,
There
a
you go.
question from Florida man is,
Florida man.
can, hey, but he's not Florida based, he's Belgian. Can I make my own MCP server for the hack?
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's a wonderful idea. Absolutely. And by the way, here going to stop sharing for a second. You can absolutely do that for your hack. And um, the fun thing I think about MCP right now, and this is what Mike and I are looking at, is if you look at MCP as a protocol, there's the resources side that allows you to read them, but there's a tool side too, which allows you to do things. And that intersection for tools and vCons is something I'm still trying to like get my head around. The
Yeah,
retrieval part makes a lot of sense to me.
yes,
The getting to it, I'm still trying to plan that one myself. So
yeah.
yeah, show me what you got. I'm
Absolutely. I mean, 'cause that's one of the keys for TADHack and always has been. It's a chance to learn. So, it's not
Yeah,
just about, winning, because I know some people very focused on creating something that has unique value to the whole ecosystem. But some, it's just, ooh, this is new. Ooh, this is interesting. And, a few e evenings, it could be a weekend or more, where you get in, you play, and you create something that helps you in, basically not only sort of you know, as a developer in your knowledge base, but potentially helps you in your career as well. Because what we're doing with vCom, we're seeing it gain broader and broader adoption across some really major brands. So this is a skill set that we hope enables you to get, if you're a student, to get those summer projects, or if you're in full-time employ, to get that next leg up to doing something that really matters to you in your career.
yeah. And again, let me just multiply that for a quick second, because what it also allows you to do is connect with the community,
Yeah,
and connect to me and Al and everyone else around you. And vCons are really special in that they're so low on the stack and so important, I think, for
yeah,
safety in the next generation, right?
yes,
That you know, building the community, this open community, is something that we need your help with, and
yeah.
we need more voices, we need more MCP servers, we need everything,
Oh
and
yeah,
so
absolutely.
yeah, especially as you're growing up and you're entering the market. There's only when I was going to the market, they used to say there's only two things that matter: what you know and who you know.
Yeah,
And hackathons really help you because it's in
yes.
both sides.
Absolutely. And it's great resume content to have
Yeah.
taken part. Fingers crossed, you get, because one of the nice things I love when Thomas gives the results, it's not just the overall winners. He's going through and providing specific feedback across many of the hacks. So, and identifying why they win particular categories. So that again provides you with great content that you can include there. So I'm just going to pick on you, Ian, because Ian's a professor from Valencia College. So they've been an amazing supporter of TADHack for all these years. Ian, for your students, do you have any questions?
No, I don't think so, Alan. I think this is great. I'll be looking for the recording link for sure to post in my classes, and I'm looking at a couple of the sample vCons now, and I think I'll maybe share a couple of those too, just to give them a chance to kind of get familiar with the file format. I'm not sure that I see any of mine online right now. Most of my classes are online and virtual. So
Yeah.
we're only about 3 or 4 weeks into the semester, so I don't know everyone yet. But yeah, no, I have no questions right now, but this is very useful. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
Thomas.
great. Yeah, go Valencia, by the way.
Hey, thanks.
And one of the nice things is, I mean, there's no code as well because it's a file format. They can just pump it
Yeah, can we talk about
into,
that for a minute? Yeah, I
yeah,
think felt like I felt short on that one. So, yeah, so it is a file format, and so you can use it just like a file. And there's a new kind of like thing happening that somewhere, but that used to be the power users. I'm sure they'll be the power AI guys.
yeah,
And taking this file format in the world of AI and using it agentically and using it, I think it's a really interesting idea and lots of opportunities for insight into people, into companies, and to coaching, and to there's just so much you can do with it, and it doesn't require um, uh, Python, but it does require imagination and insight.
yes,
And
exactly.
that's the enduring thing,
Oh
actually.
yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. And I think last year we had one of the winners demonstrated imagination very well in terms of the shrine at the Temple of
That was a good
Computing.
one. So much
But again,
fun.
it's just imagination. So we're really trying to make this as broad-based as possible so that, it's just data processing, just using an off-the-shelf, web application. But, again, if you want to build apps and you want to build your own MCP server, absolutely, 100%, you'll find people that will love to go through your code on that one. Now, I know we have many people on, so I think we have 10 people. So do we have any other questions at the moment? Don't be afraid. Just jump in. I know I've been answering some of your questions as you've been emailing them.
I
Maybe
guess, Alan,
go
I
for
guess
it.
I do have one. Yeah.
Go for
So,
it.
yeah, this is Ian again. So I know that Stralid, Thomas, is focused on automotive, I think, automotive communications. But what I'm wondering is, and I'm really not very familiar with vCon. So is there room here for the format or the use case to spread beyond that industry to others?
Yeah, so let me tell you that story. So yeah, Strolin itself is in the automotive space, and we work on behalf of automotive dealers. But I came to Strolin 4 years ago specifically to generate a new set of technology, which ended up being in beacons. And so we use Strawlid as our sandbox because we think in the automotive market we call them car stores, not dealerships.
Mhm.
And so we think a car store is just a great proxy for a store.
Yeah.
There's no difference in between how a dealership is looking to attract more customers and to understand, their operational issues. Same thing with any other kind of store. So this was absolutely, generated for the world, but had to start somewhere, and everyone's a vertical. And so automotive for us was the right choice because there was lots of opportunity, lots of money, lots of phone calls, lots
Yeah.
of raw material. So, but it didn't have anything really to do with automotive. But was fun for me because I've never
Yeah.
like been a geek since I was 15. So I
But the
never
key,
worked in a car store.
exactly. But the key is it's a compelling use case. Let's face it, after buying your home, the next biggest item, it's your car. So as a
Yeah,
result, it's a high value purchase.
it's a very high value purchase, and it's a place where we also had another idea as we came to it. So we were small. We're still pretty small. We're not huge. But we're like a couple hundred people, so
Oh
we're
yeah,
doing okay.
growing.
And so we decided that we wanted to do AI for people, not to replace them. And so we also realized that we couldn't compete with Google because we couldn't generate our own robots. So part of how this all came to be was we decided that we were going to make people better with AI, and when we decided to educate them and help them, understand better at scale.
Yep.
Econs were the file format that we used to do that. So it being a very large purchase means that you really can't take the human out of the loop.
Yeah.
This is an emotional decision. It's the second biggest thing. It's a lot of money, and especially if you're younger and you've never bought a car before, and what's this inspection, and it's that physical thing, right? It's not you can,
Yep.
so yeah,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, that was very serendipitous. And so yes, nothing to do with automotive, but everything to do with every business.
That's it. So apply it wherever you want. And of course, the synthetic vCons are owned, are focused on yacht
Yes.
ownership, which I guess well, that's for the super rich, you know. It's most probably the biggest lossing, it's the item you're going to lose most money over. Not your house, not your car, but your yacht is where you lose the most money.
What's the second happiest day in a yacht owner's life?
Yeah, when they sail. Now, let me, because we've got so many people on, let me just run through some of the timings so everybody, gets a feel for what's going on here. So on the timetable, just go to TADHack it's the top listed or the most recent post. So this is the 2nd of June. We're doing the live Q&A event, so you can have a chat with Thomas. You can understand what we're looking for. And then we're going to do another one on Monday, the 9th of June. Again, this is normally we're sort of like very intense. It's over a weekend. Do it, do it, do it, do it. What we're trying to do is be a little more, you've got time. So it enables people, nights and weekends, those that maybe, some have left, university or are in the process of or doing their finals. So this sort of gives just, you could be aware of it, but you can fit it into your schedule. So 9th, we'll have another live event. But of course, you're going to have Thomas's contact details, so you can just ping him directly as questions pop up, which they inevitably will once you start looking into the details. And then you start getting your ideas and you're looking for, some validation. Does this make sense? Then Thursday, the 12th of June. So we've got a fair bit of time compared to TADHack normally, is where you submit your hack. Now, we've got all the details on the website in terms of how you submit it. What we expect, it's 5 minutes max video. That's what everything is judged on. Now, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is the deadline. Again, with TADHack, we are flexible. If it's a little bit late on, because a deadline sort of acts as the, driving force, but in reality, we do see a few popping in late. If you're submitting on Friday, you do need to worry. So I'd say try to get it done by Thursday. Then Thomas and his team are going to go through them all over the weekend. And then on Monday, the 16th of June, we'll announce the winners roughly 3 p.m. Just again, go to TADHack, social media on LinkedIn. You'll see all the announcements. So it'll be easy to see the winners and all the feedback you'll get from Thomas and his team. Then on Wednesday, the 18th of June, we have what's called the TAD Summit Online Conference. So this is something we run every week, normally on a Wednesday. We run a session and it has, normally the videos we post from that get, a few thousand views. So it's got a good, solid online audience because it's geeky, but that gives you a chance to, we'll run through some of the winners and you'll share experiences, plans for the future. It's a nice, it just gives you a little sort of, few seconds of fame. But the key is that online conference runs throughout the year. So you can use that as maybe you're building out this hack. You can use it to basically sort of gather, users to come in and play with the hack that you're building. So in that transition from, ooh, I really like this hack and I want to try and sort of, build some kind of business around it. We're happy at the TAD Summit Online Conference to give you that promotion to then move that from just a hack into something that's like, an initial field trial. And then, fingers crossed, you can move from there. And of course, during that whole process, you're gathering great content that you can use in, promoting your skills, promoting you within the vCon community, which is, of course, growing by leaps and bounds all the time. So that's what I wanted to just give a little bit of a view on the timetable. It's slightly different than we've done in the past. But to date, the feedback has been quite complimentary around helping make it easier to get hacks in. As you can see with what Thomas said, very much around. Oh, I'm lost myself here between alt screens that got open. So give me a sec. There we go. I'm back. So hopefully that gives you a little bit of a view on what we've got planned. Now, final chance on this call. Does anybody have any questions? And don't worry, if not, it's okay. You'll have Thomas's email. You have my email, of course, and you're welcome to ask. Oh, there you go. Hope, please. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm good. What's your question?
Yeah, I wanted to know, once we build a project, do we need to submit an MVP or a prototype?
Oh no, we're quite it's all you need is a video. So I'll send out the link that explains how to submit your hack. But the key is you have a video where you explain the problem that you're solving, the bit of the problem that your hack solves. You have a demonstration of it, so you don't need a whole MVP, or a working prototype. It's just the bit that you've got working. You share, and that Thomas and his team will be judging. So don't worry, it's not a full MVP. If you do get there, wow, thank you so much. That's going to be exciting. But again, we don't try to make it too stressful. We're more interested in you learn about vCons, you appreciate how powerful they are, and hopefully inspire you over the months, coming years to do something meaningful around vCons. So thank you, Hope.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Again, I'm pleased to see so many people taking the time out of the day to be part of this. If not, what I'll say is, again, thank you so much to everyone. Thank you so much for Thomas to be the sponsor and making this happen. And again, we'll talk in a week, but I'm sure there's going to be so much communication taking place over the coming days. So take care, and I'll speak to you soon.